The concept of taking refuge is central to Buddhism, marking the moment a person commits to walking the path of the Dhamma. Unlike many religious traditions where refuge implies seeking shelter under the protection of a divine being, Buddhist refuge is an internal commitment to transformation, self-discipline, and wisdom. But what does it truly mean to take refuge? And how does this practice shape a Buddhist's life? During the time of the Buddha, becoming a Buddhist was a deeply personal yet communal process. People would listen to the Dhamma, feel inspired, and declare their devotion by uttering the well-known phrase, Buddham Saranam Gacchami, I take refuge in the Buddha. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, I take refuge in the Dhamma. Sangham Saranam Gacchami, I take refuge in the Sangha. This recitation was not merely a ritual, it was a solemn vow of commitment to a new way of life. The essence of refuge lies in its power to shift one's perspective, moving from a self-centered existence to one guided by wisdom, compassion, and ethical conduct. To take refuge in the Buddha means more than just honoring a historical figure. It signifies trusting in his awakening, understanding that enlightenment is attainable, and striving to develop the same qualities he embodied: compassion, wisdom, and equanimity. Taking refuge in the Dhamma goes beyond merely studying Buddhist teachings. It involves internalizing and applying these teachings in daily life, using them as a compass to navigate suffering, desires, and uncertainties. The Dhamma is not static, it is a living, breathing guide meant to be experienced and realized. Refuge in the Sangha, the community of practitioners, provides support, guidance, and inspiration. Historically, the monastic Sangha has preserved the teachings, ensuring their survival for over 2 millennia. But the concept of Sangha extends beyond monks and nuns. It includes all who sincerely follow the path, reinforcing the idea that spiritual progress is not a solitary endeavor but a shared journey. True refuge is not found in external recitations or rituals but in an internal transformation of the mind. It requires deep reflection, self-discipline, and persistent effort. By taking refuge, one acknowledges that suffering exists, that it has a cause, that it can end, and that there is a path leading to its cessation, the Four Noble Truths. This realization leads to a new way of living, where actions, thoughts, and intentions are aligned with ethical principles and wisdom. It fosters a sense of responsibility for one's own happiness and liberation, moving away from blind faith and toward experiential understanding. Taking refuge is often seen as the first formal step in becoming a Buddhist. However, true refuge is not blind faith but informed trust. It is faith grounded in understanding, a confidence that arises from examining the teachings and seeing their truth in action. The Buddha himself encouraged critical inquiry, stating that one should not accept his words simply out of reverence but should test them against experience, reason, and insight. In this way, taking refuge is both an entry point and a lifelong practice. It is the beginning of the path but also the path itself. As practitioners deepen their understanding and commitment, refuge ceases to be an external concept and becomes an intrinsic aspect of their being, a way of seeing, thinking, and living. In today's world, the idea of taking refuge may seem distant from its original context. Yet, its relevance remains profound. Modern life is filled with uncertainties, distractions, and suffering. Many seek refuge in material success, relationships, or fleeting pleasures, only to find that these external sources fail to provide lasting peace. Buddhist refuge offers an alternative, a path of stability, clarity, and genuine happiness. By taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, one cultivates an inner sanctuary that remains unshaken by external circumstances. It is a commitment to truth, ethical living, and the development of wisdom, providing a refuge not from life but within it. In conclusion, The essence of refuge in Buddhism is not about seeking external protection but about embarking on an inner journey towards self-realization and liberation. It is a conscious decision to walk the path of awakening, supported by the wisdom of the Buddha, the guidance of the Dhamma, and the encouragement of the Sangha. Through this commitment, one finds not only refuge but also the profound freedom that lies at the heart of the Buddhist path. Taking refuge is not simply a ceremonial recitation, it is a profound shift in one's spiritual outlook and practice. To truly take refuge means to surrender old patterns of ignorance and delusion, and instead, cultivate wisdom, ethical discipline, and mental clarity. It is a turning point where one begins to consciously align their life with the teachings of the Buddha. When a person takes refuge in Buddhism, they are not seeking divine salvation but rather embarking on a path of self-awakening. The act of taking refuge acknowledges the impermanent and unsatisfactory nature of worldly existence and expresses a commitment to find true peace through wisdom and inner development. The Pali Canon describes taking refuge as a decisive moment, a firm resolution to place trust in the Buddha's enlightenment, follow the Dhamma's guidance, and align oneself with the Sangha's example. It is not merely an intellectual agreement but a deep transformation of heart and mind. Taking refuge serves as a moral compass that guides behavior. By aligning with the Buddha, one aspires to develop wisdom. By following the Dhamma, one commits to truthfulness and ethical conduct. By embracing the Sangha, one acknowledges the importance of community and shared wisdom. The 5 precepts serve as a foundation for ethical living. Refraining from killing, cultivating compassion for all living beings. Refraining from stealing, practicing generosity and respect for others. Refraining from sexual misconduct, upholding integrity and mindful relationships. Refraining from false speech, speaking truthfully and harmoniously. Refraining from intoxicants, maintaining clarity of mind and self-awareness. Taking refuge is not a passive belief but an active journey. The Buddha taught that genuine refuge is found in understanding reality as it truly is. This means recognizing the impermanence of life, understanding the nature of suffering, and cultivating wisdom through meditation and ethical discipline. Through sincere practice, one gradually internalizes the teachings, moving from faith to direct realization. This journey unfolds in stages, beginning with initial faith, deepening through personal experience, and culminating in true insight and liberation. The path to becoming a Buddhist is a gradual transformation that involves intellectual understanding, ethical commitment, and deep meditative practice. Unlike traditions that emphasize sudden conversion, Buddhism encourages a process of continuous learning, self-examination, and direct experience. For many, the journey begins with an existential question: why is life filled with suffering? This curiosity often leads to exploring various philosophies and religions. Buddhism attracts those who resonate with its emphasis on self-discovery and practical wisdom. The Buddha himself was not born enlightened. He sought answers and experimented with different paths before attaining awakening. This example encourages seekers to engage in their own investigation. Taking the first steps into Buddhism is often marked by reading and learning, studying the Buddha's teachings, understanding key principles such as the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, observing Buddhist practice, visiting temples, listening to Dhamma talks, and engaging with Buddhist communities. Personal reflection, examining one's own experiences of suffering, happiness, and impermanence. Taking formal refuge. While internal conviction is crucial, many formally affirm their commitment by taking refuge in the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. This is often done in a ceremony where one recites the threefold refuge and the 5 precepts, signifying a serious dedication to walking the path. The 5 precepts serve as practical ethical guidelines. Abstaining from killing, promoting nonviolence and compassion. Abstaining from stealing, cultivating honesty and respect. Abstaining from sexual misconduct, maintaining integrity in relationships. Abstaining from false speech, practicing truthful and kind communication. Abstaining from intoxicants, ensuring clarity of mind and self-control. While these are often seen as beginners' rules, they form the ethical foundation upon which deeper meditative and wisdom practices are built. True Buddhist practice extends beyond intellectual knowledge. Meditation is a crucial part of the path, allowing one to cultivate mindfulness, concentration, and insight. There are various forms of meditation, including samatha, concentration meditation, developing focus and tranquility. Vipassana, insight meditation, cultivating awareness and understanding of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Metta, loving-kindness meditation, generating unconditional compassion for oneself and others. Through consistent practice, meditation transforms theoretical understanding into direct experience. A practitioner begins to see impermanence, suffering, and non-self not as abstract concepts but as truths evident in daily life. Becoming a Buddhist is not always easy. One may face doubts, social pressures, or difficulties in maintaining discipline. The Buddha recognized these struggles and provided guidance. Dealing with doubt, investigate teachings critically rather than blindly accepting them. The Kalama Sutta encourages personal examination of truth. Balancing lay life and practice, many practitioners have families, jobs, and responsibilities. The Buddha advised householders on practical ways to integrate the Dhamma into daily life. Staying motivated, progress in Buddhism is gradual. The key is persistence and finding inspiration in the teachings, community, and personal experiences. A supportive community, whether monastic or lay, plays a crucial role in sustaining practice. The Sangha offers guidance, motivation, and opportunities for collective practice. Engaging with a spiritual community provides a source of wisdom through experienced practitioners, encouragement during periods of doubt or struggle, an environment for ethical and mindful living. Taking refuge in becoming a Buddhist is not the end, it is the beginning of a lifelong journey. The goal is not to become a perfect Buddhist overnight, but to make steady progress toward awakening. The Eightfold Path serves as a guide, providing a structured yet flexible roadmap for ethical living, mental development, and wisdom cultivation. A sincere practitioner continuously refines their understanding, deepens their meditation, and integrates the Dhamma into everyday life. The path to becoming a Buddhist is one of transformation, not through external labels but through inner growth, ethical discipline, and the direct realization of truth. The Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, is the cornerstone of Buddhist refuge and practice. Each of these three elements serves as a source of guidance, inspiration, and transformation for practitioners on the path to enlightenment. Taking refuge in the Buddha is not about worshiping a divine figure but recognizing him as an awakened teacher who discovered and shared the path to liberation. The historical Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, serves as an example of human potential, demonstrating that enlightenment is attainable through perseverance, ethical living, and wisdom. Beyond the historical Buddha, the term Buddha signifies an enlightened being who has transcended ignorance and suffering. In this sense, taking refuge in the Buddha means cultivating the same qualities he embodied: compassion, mindfulness, and insight. It is a commitment to follow his example and trust that the path he laid out leads to true happiness and liberation. The Dhamma, or the teachings of the Buddha, serves as the guiding framework for ethical conduct, mental development, and wisdom. It is often described as the truth of existence, the natural laws governing suffering and liberation. the Dhamma is divided into three aspects. The scriptural teachings, the recorded words of the Buddha, found in the Pali Canon and other Buddhist texts. The practice, the application of these teachings in daily life through morality, meditation, and wisdom. The realization, the direct experience of truth that arises through diligent practice, leading to liberation. Taking refuge in the Dhamma means embracing these teachings, testing them through personal experience, and living in accordance with the principles of the Eightfold Path. It is a reminder that wisdom is not static but must be cultivated through continuous practice and reflection. The Sangha represents the community of practitioners who uphold and preserve the teachings of the Buddha. It is traditionally divided into two forms. The monastic Sangha, monks and nuns who dedicate their lives to studying and practicing the Dhamma, serving as teachers and guides for lay practitioners. The noble Sangha, any individual, monastic or lay, who has attained a level of awakening and embodies the Dhamma in their conduct and wisdom. By taking refuge in the Sangha, one acknowledges the importance of community and support in spiritual practice. A sincere Buddhist does not walk the path alone but learns from teachers, engages in communal practice, and finds encouragement in the shared pursuit of enlightenment. Each element of the Triple Gem is interdependent. The Buddha provides the inspiration and example, the Dhamma offers the method and guidance, and the Sangha ensures the preservation and transmission of the teachings. Together, they create a complete framework for spiritual growth and ultimate liberation. Taking refuge in the Triple Gem is not a one-time event but a lifelong commitment to self-improvement and awakening. It is a declaration of trust in the path and a recognition that true refuge lies in cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and inner peace. By continuously reflecting on and deepening one's understanding of the Triple Gem, a practitioner gradually moves closer to the ultimate goal of enlightenment. While taking external refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha provides guidance and inspiration, the true refuge is found within. The Buddha himself emphasized that ultimate liberation is not achieved through external reliance but through personal effort, insight, and transformation of the mind. Internal refuge refers to cultivating the qualities of the Triple Gem within oneself. This means embodying the wisdom of the Buddha, practicing the Dhamma sincerely, and fostering the virtues of the Sangha in daily life. It is a process of internalizing the teachings so that they become an inseparable part of one's consciousness, rather than something external to be sought. The Buddha advised his disciples, "Be a refuge unto yourselves, with the Dhamma as your guide." This underscores the importance of self-reliance in spiritual practice. By developing mindfulness, ethical conduct, and wisdom, one gradually becomes their own refuge, independent of external conditions. Taking internal refuge in the Buddha means developing the qualities he embodied. Wisdom, panna, seeing reality clearly and understanding the impermanence of all things. Compassion, karuna, cultivating kindness and helping others without attachment. Equanimity, upekkha, maintaining inner balance despite changing circumstances. Through meditation and self-reflection, one nurtures these qualities, moving from faith in the Buddha to direct realization of his path. Taking refuge in the Dhamma internally means more than just studying scriptures. It is about applying the teachings in every moment of life. This involves practicing the Eightfold Path, using right view, right intention, and other principles to guide decisions. Observing the precepts, maintaining ethical integrity as a foundation for spiritual progress. Deepening meditation, cultivating mindfulness and insight through disciplined practice. The more one integrates these principles, the more the Dhamma becomes a lived experience rather than an abstract philosophy. The inner Sangha, becoming a noble practitioner. Taking internal refuge in the Sangha means embodying the virtues of the noble Sangha. Integrity, living truthfully and harmoniously with others. Humility, acknowledging one's limitations and striving for continuous improvement. Spiritual companionship, supporting and uplifting fellow practitioners through kindness and wisdom. Even if one does not live in a monastic setting, they can cultivate an inner Sangha by fostering a community-oriented mindset, being receptive to teachings, and striving for higher understanding. As one deepens their understanding and commitment, refuge ceases to be an external act and becomes a state of being. The practitioner moves from relying on external teachings to embodying the path within, leading to greater freedom and inner peace. Ultimately, the internal refuge is what brings true security and liberation. The path laid out by the Buddha is not something distant but a direct experience available to all who are willing to cultivate it within their own hearts. Taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is not a passive act but an ongoing journey that requires effort, discipline, and mindfulness. In modern times, integrating Buddhist principles into daily life can be challenging due to distractions, obligations, and external influences. However, through consistent practice and commitment, one can develop a strong foundation for personal transformation. Creating a structured daily practice is essential for internalizing the teachings. Some fundamental practices include morning and evening reflection. Start and end the day by reciting the threefold refuge and reflecting on personal progress. Mindfulness meditation. Set aside time each day to develop awareness and inner stillness through breath-focused or vipassana meditation. Dhamma study. Reading and contemplating Buddhist scriptures or teachings to deepen understanding. Gratitude and loving kindness. Metta. Practicing gratitude and sending well wishes to oneself and others fosters compassion. Consistency in these practices strengthens mindfulness and cultivates an unwavering commitment to the path. The Eightfold Path serves as a practical guide for ethical living and spiritual development. Integrating these principles into everyday actions creates a harmonious and fulfilling life. Right view. Developing a deep understanding of impermanence and karma in daily interactions. Right intention. Cultivating thoughts of non-attachment, kindness, and compassion. Right speech. Practicing truthful, uplifting, and mindful communication. Right action. Engaging in ethical conduct and treating others with respect. Right livelihood. Earning a living in ways that align with ethical principles and cause no harm. Right effort. Being diligent in abandoning negative habits and cultivating wholesome qualities. Right mindfulness. Staying present and aware in daily activities, from eating to working. Right concentration. Developing deep states of meditation to refine awareness and insight. By incorporating these principles into work, relationships, and daily routines, one gradually transforms their way of being. Modern practitioners often encounter obstacles on their spiritual journey. Here are some common challenges and ways to address them. Lack of time. Prioritize spiritual practice by integrating mindfulness into daily activities, such as mindful eating or walking. Doubt and discouragement. Engage with experienced teachers, study the Dhamma, and reflect on personal progress to strengthen conviction. Distractions and attachments. Minimize distractions by setting clear intentions and cultivating inner discipline. Maintaining ethical conduct. Surround oneself with supportive communities and regularly reflect on the precepts. Through perseverance and awareness, these challenges can be transformed into opportunities for growth. Although internal practice is essential, being part of a Buddhist community, Sangha, provides guidance, encouragement, and accountability. Engaging with a spiritual group can involve attending Dhamma talks and meditation retreats, participating in discussions and study groups, supporting fellow practitioners through service and generosity, Involvement in a Sangha fosters motivation and deepens one's understanding through shared wisdom and experience. Generosity, dana, and compassion, karuna, are integral to Buddhist practice. Acts of giving, whether material, emotional, or through service, cultivate non-attachment and foster interconnectedness. Modern practitioners can practice generosity by supporting charities and community projects, offering time and effort to help others selflessly, practicing kindness in daily interactions. Small, consistent acts of giving contribute to a more compassionate world and deepen one's spiritual development. Spiritual progress takes time, and setbacks are natural. The Buddha taught that patience, khanti, is a crucial virtue in overcoming obstacles. When challenges arise, view difficulties as opportunities to practice mindfulness and resilience. Accept imperfections and avoid self-criticism. Remember that transformation occurs gradually with consistent effort. By embracing patience and perseverance, one remains steadfast in their spiritual journey. Being a Buddhist in modern times requires mindfulness, ethical integrity, and dedication. Through daily practice, ethical conduct, meditation, and community engagement, one deepens their commitment to the path. Ultimately, the journey of a practitioner is not about reaching a distant goal but embodying the qualities of the Triple Gem in everyday life. With sincerity and perseverance, one experiences greater wisdom, peace, and inner freedom, fulfilling the true essence of being a Buddhist. The journey of a Buddhist is not just about intellectual understanding or occasional practice, it is about embodying the teachings in every aspect of life. Taking refuge in the Triple Gem is a lifelong commitment, not a single event, and the deeper one integrates these principles, the more profound the transformation. At the beginning, refuge may be external, seeking guidance from teachers, reading scriptures, and attending community gatherings. However, as practice matures, refuge shifts inward. The practitioner no longer relies solely on external sources but develops wisdom, ethical conduct, and mindfulness within. This transformation marks the transition from belief to direct experience. The Buddha himself emphasized that true refuge is found within. When one fully embodies the teachings, they become a light unto themselves, radiating wisdom and compassion naturally. This is the essence of becoming one with the path. Walking the Buddhist path is not about reaching a final destination but about continuous self-improvement and refinement. The Eightfold Path serves as an ever-present guide, helping practitioners navigate life's challenges with clarity and ethical integrity. As one progresses, virtue deepens, ethical behavior becomes second nature, and mindfulness guides all actions. Wisdom strengthens, the practitioner sees reality with greater clarity, free from delusions and attachments. Inner peace blossoms, even in difficult circumstances, equanimity prevails, allowing for a calm and centered approach to life. With consistent effort, these qualities become an inseparable part of one's being, demonstrating that true refuge is not external but cultivated from within. A true Buddhist not only follows the teachings but also inspires others through example. By embodying kindness, patience, and generosity, a practitioner naturally influences those around them. This is the concept of the living Sangha, where lay people and monastics alike serve as beacons of wisdom and virtue, demonstrating the practical benefits of the Buddhist path. One does not need to be a monk or a scholar to be a true Buddhist. What matters is sincerity in practice and a genuine commitment to personal transformation. Every action, every word, and every thought becomes an opportunity to cultivate the Dhamma and benefit others. While the path begins with external refuge, it ultimately leads to complete liberation. The highest goal in Buddhism is the cessation of suffering, the attainment of nirvana. This is not a distant or abstract ideal, but a real and achievable state, marked by absolute freedom from greed, hatred, and delusion. For those who diligently walk the path, the gradual shedding of attachments and delusions leads to an experience of profound peace and clarity. This is the moment when one truly becomes one with the path, not by merely following teachings, but by fully embodying them. The distinction between practitioner and path disappears, leaving only wisdom, compassion, and unshakable serenity. The Buddha famously said, "The doors to the deathless are open. Let those with ears to hear show their faith." This invitation remains open to all who seek refuge in wisdom and liberation. Regardless of background, circumstances, or past experiences, anyone can take the first step on this path. The journey may be long, and challenges may arise, but through perseverance and commitment, the rewards are immeasurable. True peace, clarity, and happiness are within reach, not as something to be gained externally, but as qualities to be realized within. As one walks the path with sincerity and dedication, the teachings cease to be separate from the practitioner. The Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha become more than ideals, they become the very fabric of one's existence. In this way, one does not merely follow the path, one becomes the path.